What's up everybody, and welcome back to Operation Overhaul. And today we're going to be continuing on the Porsche 912. So if you would stick with me and chum on. Alright, like I said, we're going to be working on the Porsche again today. And today I'm going to be putting some new transmission fluid in it, or gear oil. That's what I have to put in it. It's Swepco 201. This is the synthetic stuff. And if you get underneath here, the drain and fuel plugs are right here. We had to change the speedometer gear, which is on the opposite side, underneath right here. And when you pull that out, all the fluid runs out, but we're going to be putting fluid back in it. This is on the driver's side. This is the drain plug, and that is the fuel plug. This is a 19 millimeter on both sides, both sizes. So we're just going to remove this, and we're going to use a transfer pump to pump it in here until it runs out. Like I said, this uses a 19. And I'm just going to be using one of these little red cheap transfer pumps. We're just going to pump it in a little bit at a time. This is 90 weight. So it does have a little bit of viscosity to it. You're just going to keep pumping until it comes out of the hole. Alright, now that it's draining out of the hole, put the plug back in. And that's pretty much it for putting transmission fluid back in this. Now that we have the transmission fluid back in the transmission, what we're going to do is install the speedometer cable. And in order to do this, you're going to have to remove the shifter and at least unbolt the e-brake cable or e-brake handle, so you can get the shifter through there, because it's going to hit all the linkages. And in order to do this, on the e-brake there's 3 bolts right here, as you can see, and they are 13s. And then on the shifter itself, there's going to be 2 10s and 3 13s. There's 2 in the front, 1 in the back. I'm going to grab my sockets real quick, and we'll get right to it, and I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is I'm going to remove these 2 10s right here. And on this car that has 2 washers underneath it, I'm going to try to keep this all together. Next, we're going to remove the 3 13s. As you can see underneath here, this just lifts up and it just goes into the transmission piece itself. and this allows you to move the linkage around so you can get it to go where you need it to go. You can actually set this to the side. Now we can remove the e-brake cable or e-brake assembly, and these use 13s as well. Make sure you release the e-brake prior. I forgot to put mine down. You can see inside there. So what we're going to do now is going to lift the car up. We're going to go ahead and feed the cable through as much as we can, and then we're going to lower it back down and come back from inside the car and feed it the rest of the way through. Right there is where the cable is going to come out, and then it's going to go up through there, up in there. There should be a hole where the cable goes through to attach to the speedometer itself. But let me lift it up in the air and we'll get y'all underneath there and show you what it looks like underneath the car. Alright, so we're underneath the car now, and right here by the shifter and everything, there's a hole where the speedometer cable goes in. Your speedometer gear is right above us, right where my thumb is, but the cable goes in here and you're gonna have to feed it through. What I did was taped up the end so we don't get any dirt and grime and grease that may be in there from the shifter linkages and all that stuff. Then you just feed it in there, and it's going to be kind of tight and awkward at first, and you're going to hit some stuff, especially with the e-brake cable and everything in the way. Also go on top of this bracket right here so it kind of holds it for you, and we're in there and I can feel that we're hitting the e-brake handle, so I'm going to lower it back down and we're going to go back inside and try to feed it through the rest of the way. Alright, so I couldn't get the cable to feed through there by itself, so I got some stiff wire right here, looks like probably about 1/16 of an inch thick, and I ran it down through the e-brake right here, and I taped it to the actual speedometer cable, and we're going to pull it and see if we can get it to come through. Well, it's taped through there and I got it started in the hole, so let's see if we can get it to pull. Right. I know it's a little dark, but oh, there we go. Now what I'm going to do is see if I can feed it back through right here where the shifter was. Also, by the way, this little knob on the shifter, if you just screw it, unscrew it, it's the front little portion. There's a little rounded cutout on the front of that shifter that the threads will go through, and it gives you a lot more room. Forgot to mention that whenever I took it off the first time, but like I said, we're going to take this off real quick, like get rid of all the tape, and then we will feed this back through and attach it back to the shifter so I can pull it out through here. But I'm gonna probably go in through this hole up here. So I was actually able to feed it through to the shifter part by hand, and now we're going to just feed it in. Sorry about that. Now we're going to feed it in till we see it come up the top. And there we go. And I'm going to show you where it goes up in there next. Just give me 1 second. Alright, so I stuck a piece of wire down through. Yeah, I know it's kind of dark in here where it needs to go. So I'm going to set you down and There's a hole right there. And just feed it through as much as you can. And then we're going to go outside to under the trunk portion of the car. As you can see from right here, it went in. Let me move this. It come out right here, and the speedometer is up inside of there. You can see, got my hand on it right here. So we're going to take this tape off, and then we're going to thread it into there, and I'll be right back. So here's a better view of what it looks like. This right here is the cable right there. You just screw it on. Get you a small little pair of slip joints or something, get in there and tighten it up. Just rotate the actual cable itself until it lines up with the square detent inside of there, so you're not forcing it, and you can ruin the cable actually if you do that, and you don't want to go through all this just to ruin that. But that's it right there. It's installed up here. We're going to lift up the car and get back underneath there so we can actually attach it to the transmission itself. So we're back under the car now. Here's the end of the speedometer cable. You can move this back, and we'll rotate it until it engages in the little slot, and then you should just be able to thread it on. And I'm gonna get a pair of pliers and just put a little extra on it, nothing major. And that is it for putting it in on this side. We're gonna go back in and install the e-brake and the shifter again. So we got the speedometer cable. I know I said shifter cable on the last part of the video, but we got the speedometer cable in. It's all buttoned up on that. We got the shifter and the e-brake in. We just have a few more things we got to do to this car. I do have to fix one of the vent windows. The little thing inside of here, the little rod right there it connects it to, is broken on the passenger side. I still have to wire up the tag lights, which that won't take much. I already got the ground ran. I just got to run power. Then I have to install the windshield washer reservoir and pump, which that's an easy install on this too. We got like one screw in the rear view mirror on the inside that I need to install, and then we got to put the sun visors in, and then after that it's should be pretty much finished at this point as far as what the customer wants. But I hope you're enjoying the series, and if you would, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Until next time, y'all have a great day.